Truth be told, every champion has felt it. Every president has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every lion has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt the urge.
Hey, how are you guys doing today? This is your host, Sonia, with the Remember Who You Are 222 podcast. And I have my guest, Anita, here with us today. She is actually the founder and CEO of Liberate Me, which is your sacred geometry signature. And she's my mentor too, so I'm excited for the interview. So, how are you doing today, Anita?
I'm good. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
yeah, of course. So, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about your story and how you even came into doing the sacred geometry signature?
Yeah, so I'll give the top line version because it's a long story. But essentially, I'm Anita. So I'm a UK born Indian from an immigrant background. So that had its challenges growing up in the UK, coming from, I guess, rags to riches. My father managed that, but then back down to rags because he lost everything. Um, so I had I'm very thankful for my childhood. I had a good childhood, but also a really bad one at the same time because there was physical, mental, emotional abuse. Um, Not knowingly, but it was there. And then I think the biggest thing for me was losing my father. He took his life when I was 17. So that really changed everything. And that's probably what started me into this world of personal development, self help, trying to survive the unsurvivable and all the different things that have happened, trying to find myself, trying to understand things. So I sort of started there when I was 17 on this journey of um, liberation as I know it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because when you I guess when you started it, was it just like you knew what to do, or was it just coming at different?
No. So it was a really I mean, I always had a gift, I think, from very young. I think we all have it deep down. If it's activated, to be able to sense, to be able to read, to be able to understand what's going on around me and for other people. So it's kind of like reading the energy or being a high level empath or like extreme active listening for those viewers that know about those things. So I was always able to tap into that a bit more the most. So that was something I always had, that ability to tap in, to read people if you like, or read a situation. Um, and really to be able to see, I guess, what things other people can't see.
Mhm.
That's what I do. I help people see what they can't see in themselves, to set themselves free or in their lives than the misinterpretations that are going on. So I was always able to see that. I've always been able to cut through the BS.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't always able to voice it, even though I could see it. I didn't have that voice. So that took me a moment after my dad passed away, going into my 20s. And I had a corporate career for 18 years in marketing. And this was in the background the whole time. So I would be doing different coaching. I mean, I studied it myself because we didn't have access. I'm that old. We didn't have that kind of access to therapy, coaching. That now it's it's like coming at us 100 miles an hour. And now
Yeah.
it's time for hold on, what works, what doesn't work, what is all of this, what's for real, what's not. But at that time, I just bought the whole self-help section and I studied every book. I'm a reader. As I absorb and I take it in, and then I'm like, how am I going to implement that? How am I going to create a process that's going to help me get from here to there? So I was designing things without realizing it. And then through life experiences, all the different challenges, I've been divorced twice. And now So all of these different challenges that were happening in those relationships, different jobs. And what I was finding is that you can't outrun yourself.
Yeah. Right.
You can't leave the relationship. You can't leave the job. You can't leave the freaking country or the state or whatever it is. It's coming with you. So there's something that's in us that needed to be seen for us to really get through what we need to get through. And we keep trying to fix everything. That's what I noticed. And, you know, we're not broken. We don't need fixing. You're going to probably hear me say that a lot. And it's not a meme, right?
Yeah.
Well, because we keep thinking we're broken. All of these hard experiences, these challenges, that is life. And I was like, but this just doesn't change no matter what you do. And I did it all, right? I did the books, the therapy, the coaching, the new age spirituality, all of it, right? There's so much. And so I ended up like I had all this research, if you like, after 20 odd years of doing that. And then leaving my job, which I think was, 9 years ago now, Liberate Me started. I didn't have a clue. I just knew I'm not doing this anymore. I climbed a ladder that wasn't my ladder.
Yeah.
And I realized it was my parents' ladder, of course, to achieve all that. But it's always by design, because everything that I learned or gained there and evolved in, I didn't know, but I want to get to use it in a very different way inside of where I was now. So it was all by design, is the way I feel. And then, yeah, I didn't know what I was going to do when I left. I just knew I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I'm not doing that. So what am I doing? And I want to create the same kind of income with whatever I'm doing, but I'm not working for anyone else. I'm done. I want to be free. And I was told that's impossible unless you do the same thing as a consultant. So I was a marketing director for Asia Pacific. I was like, well, I'm not doing that. No, there's something here in it. So it was that discovery. It was layer by layer. And then I did another coaching course, and I was like, well, that coaching course, great, but there's so many gaps in here. Like, this isn't going to work. So I was like, it's not going to work. What I was being taught, I was like, well, that's not going to work. So, you know, I had to not kind of reinvent the wheel, take the good stuff, but fill in the gaps and turn it around the right way up. That actually works. And it's hard to explain. It's something you have to experience inside of Liberate Me.
Yeah.
And no, now it looks like I just put it all together. You have this identity profile signature, and no. I mean, it just reveals itself to me because you're connecting with your talent, what you're here for, your gift, and everybody's got that, and everybody's got that ability to connect with that. And I guess that's what I help with, essentially. Did I answer your question, or just went off on a complete tangent?
No, it definitely answered my question. And I think just being in the program for now, I think I've been in the program for like 2 months now.
Yeah.
It's definitely been like profound like shifts. And so it is interesting how you came up with the like all of it, like the false trades, the like just all of the things that start to get revealed through the program.
Yeah.
It does seem like it was just you know, like this.
Yeah, like it all just went boom. No, it was layer by layer, and I'm sure it will keep evolving into other things and all of that. It keeps getting revealed, but now it's pretty robust. Now it is a proven formula. It's working, it's activating, it's shifting. So now I can be like, oh, I wasn't just completely bonkers. Because you can feel completely bonkers when the majority of self-improvement is saying the opposite thing to what you're saying. And it's like, what? But all I could see is self-improvement is keeping people stuck. It's not actually helping them. It's taking them into victimhood.
Yeah.
So that's what I started to see. Because traditional approaches focus on fixing, right? They focus on fixing wrong. So I'm saying you're not broken, you don't need fixing. All of these challenges are there by design to evolve you. It's through pain, right? And that resistance that we evolve, right? I mean, you're obviously into your bodybuilding and the weights, and I just saw your intro video there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm not as in shape as I was then, but I still work out pretty intensely.
Yeah.
and that has
You
always
know that
been. Yeah.
feeling of the way you're building your strength is through resistance,
Yeah.
through the pain,
Yeah, that's
without
true.
it. Not trying to get, oh, we need to get rid of the weight. We need to
Yeah.
squeeze,
See, and I
right?
was always so good at I was always so good at I don't know, I guess that was my outlet through all the stuff I've been through was really just pushing my body past its limits. But there was a lot that I was masking under all that.
Exactly. So this pushes your emotions and what you're experiencing to the limits to see the true. It really just, I guess this method flips it. I mean, you'll be able to have some view in it because you've had some experience in it, but it flips it. And those challenges you're having in your love life, in your career, into leverage points, into evolvement, where they can actually do a 180 on you. So the thing that you think is broken, whether it's your relationship, your work, whatever it is, can start to change into what you desire, or even better, because now you're using it appropriately for what it was here for, rather than trying to fix it, run away from it, manage it, protect yourself from it, which you can't do because you can't outrun it. Really, the only way is through it, and in a very specific way on top of that, that is bespoke to your own signature, to your own DNA, your own geometrics. So these generic approaches, or these self-improvement, I just found why, it's hard to admit when you invest so much in self-improvement and therapy and other things. You're like, it's not actually working. I'm becoming a know-it-all, but it's not actually working. Things aren't actually changing for me. It's making me more lonely. And now I've got to act like I'm really smart and I know everything, but I can't actually. I've got another mask on, and I can't actually get that love. I can't actually get things to evolve, or that wealth, or that freedom to totally have things change and have life react to me differently. Because it's, I mean, if you're done sort of fixing and really want to, it's a recalibration, right? That starts to happen. And that's what happens even when you're like you say, with the weights and with the physical, right? And it's doing the same with the emotional. And that's what I started to realize, that hold on, something's really not like anything that's new. Self-help, self-improvement, psychology, it's new. And so it's going through many phases of development. And I think now many people, or some people, are starting to realize it's not working, right? There's a fatigue. There's like,
Yeah.
I've invested, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. It's not working, right? It's not actually working.
Yeah. I was gonna say that when you said that too. When it comes to psychology, especially, I feel like I've seen people go to therapists for like years and not see much of a difference in their life, and I even saw a therapist for 2 years, and it doesn't really change it is like you're still in victimhood, you're still talking, because when I was seeing the therapist, I was still talking about the narcissist and that and this, and that's all I could talk about, but it was keeping in the victimhood. But
Yes.
through your program, I've actually been able to change the language around and
Yeah, because and it's not just, I mean, it's really getting into it, right? I mean, therapy, you're so spot on, I think, teaches you to manage problems and puts you in victim. I mean, therapist just generally agrees and is on your side in some ways, and isn't able to tell you anything that you are not sharing. They're not able to break that in any massive way, in my experience anyway. Whereas transcending it, knowing that all the bad things that are happening for you, not to you. You're not a victim to them. They're happening by design, for you, not just to dissolve them or get away from them or manage them, but to transcend them, to activate them into a result or outcome, an evolvement. And once you use it in that way, and now we are in a society that has got this. When I was first started in this, we didn't have any of this, but now it's an epidemic of labels and diagnosing of narcissists, gaslighting, so many, right? Toxic, right? And then ADHD and all of these things, and they're useful. Not, yeah, personality disorder, borderline, all the different things that we are just throwing around. How to protect yourself from an narcissist. We're all human, guys.
yeah.
right? So we all got narcissistic traits when we're in our not selves, who we're not.
Yeah.
We all can show. We've all got the bad and the good. Okay. So, which leaves people very lonely, and it's very separating because we're saying you're a narcissist, your problem. I'm amazing. Nothing wrong with me, right? I haven't attracted this experience for me to transcend something in it. People struggle with this because they think, "What are you saying? I caused someone to cheat on me. I caused someone to abuse me." It's like, no, you didn't cause it. Life itself, the sacred, is bringing that in because it's in your legacy to evolve something. So if you can separate and see what it's here for, the mirror that it's here for, to activate it, will bring you results and outcomes that you cannot do but trying to fix the problem because it's not a problem. Does that
Yeah.
make any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. But I guess for the listeners that might not, because there's also, I do feel like there's also the sacred geometry as far as like the actual symbols and shapes that everybody talks about. And like somebody, I think Susie was like, can I read? I'll read a book on it first. But can you explain into a little bit more of what, the sacred geometry signature is, for people to understand it a little better?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what's important there is number one, we call it the Liberate Me. Okay, Liberate Me method. It's your identity profile signature. It's pretty clinical, if you like. Okay, some people are looking at it as very spiritual as well, because everything is spiritual, and that's okay. But if you're not spiritual, it's also okay, because the way it contrasts from the managing, the therapy, and all of these things, or reading the books, is that it's alchemizing. So it is faster, it is cleaner, it is outcome driven. Okay. So if you're someone that doesn't have time for endless processing with no freaking reason for it, okay, then and you want actual results and shifts, and you're seeing things and life starting to react differently to you, it feels magical. Okay. It's not really, it's just our ecosystem and the way that we're designed sacredly, if you want to look at it that way. So it's Liberate Me, your identity profile signature. You have 4 elements. Okay, 2 elements that are who you are not, and 2 elements of who you are, the true and false. Okay. So it's very bespoke to each individual. And then underneath that is where we talk about the sacred geometry. Okay. And it's just a way to describe, right? It's just a way to describe the DNA, the geometrics and metaphysics of your makeup. Okay. So if we try to flip it the other way around and go, well, I'm going to go study sacred geometry, or I'm going to go read a book. I mean, there's no book. I mean, I'd love if there was a book. I've been too busy doing the work and putting it out there and actually helping and activating. The book isn't here. Okay. The Liberate Me method, the identity profile, the sacred geometry, it isn't here. So if you look up sacred geometry, what you're going to receive is, I mean, I always say as well, knowledge isn't power, right? Just reading something isn't any power in that, because you're not active. Actually, sometimes understanding things cognitively and intellectually gets in the way of actually experiencing and having that transcendence. Okay, here it's all about the experience. Most clients inside of Liberate Me are like, I don't know how this is happening, but it's happening. I couldn't explain. I'm trying to explain it. They're trying to explain it. It's like unexplainable. It's unexplainable. It has to be experienced. I don't know. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely believe it has to be experienced. I do know, just off of some of research, because I do a lot of other research too. Like, as you know, probably that I research stuff about the brain, how the brain works, and quantum physics and sacred geometry. And I do know that everything's made out of sacred geometry, even the words that we speak. So it makes sense that this would be ECS. Hold on, baby. Relax. Pause it real quick. There we go.
Okay, so I think on that, like I said to the person you mentioned, I can understand that instinct to want to research and read things, look at different things. And there's nothing wrong with looking at these things. but they can actually offload and bypass the transcendence and the activation that's there for you in the experience you're having. So there can be a way to get into logic, get into knowledge, which isn't power. Okay, it's not, you mustn't read these things, you mustn't look at these things. I mean, like I say, we have this desire to understand things intellectually, cognitively, because we've been conditioned that we must understand everything. Not, cognitively, intellectually, we must pass that degree, we must be a postgrad, we must be experienced, we must have done it, and then it will work for us. Then it will work for us. But actually, I give the invitation, like, you can relax here. Feel the relief that you don't need to understand it cognitively or intellectually. You can just be with it. You can just get your signature. You can just get your reading and just listen to it and start to be with it, experience it. And it just starts to move. Okay. Without you understanding it, without that pressure of needing to understand it. I don't even understand it. I just understood the phenomenon and I utilized that, and it just starts to activate.
Yeah.
So I'm not even pressuring it to say I need to understand this cognitively and intellectually, and but it is very scientific in the way it works. You do X, Y, Z, you get this.
Yeah. Right.
You get an outcome, so it starts to move. Okay.
Yeah, that is true. It really is like mathematical for people that are into like math and geometry, but
yes, but we don't get into maths. We don't sit
Yeah.
there talking
We
about shapes or, obviously sacred geometry. If you Google it, it's about geometric patterns, right? It's about spiritual symbolism. Okay. It's about universal truths, right? And it's about the underlying order of the universe. Okay. But this is bespoke to you, individual identity profile. So what my gift is, and this method and how it helps you, is it sees that nature in you. It sees your universal truths and the universal lies, okay, that are underneath the bonnet, that are bespoke to you, and the symbols or the experiences you're having in your life, the circumstances, past, present, or future, and to use them to activate and get an outcome and result. So rather than just sit there and try to fix them, because they're not broken. None of it is broken. Everything is by some design. So it's used as a bit of symbolism for us to understand that. We could say DNA, we could say something else. We use the word sacred geometry because that's the only reason. Okay. And then sometimes our cognitive, because it wants to actually avoid the real work and the result and the outcome, the fear of success that we can get, we're like, I want to intellectually understand this. I want to study it. And there is no way to study it.
Yeah.
Not what we do here anyway, because that's proprietary. That's something we've created.
Yeah. It's like created for us or something. And
exactly. So yeah. So I get the want to understand it cognitively, but I mean, this is why we offer that signature and that reading, which is very bespoke to each person, so you can experience it. That's better than reading a book, better than reading a website. But it is going to bring something out that's true for you and give you the truth. Whereas therapy and some of these other things can be comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. I do believe that a therapist kind of like, even when I was in therapy, it's like they slow roll you instead of telling you like, Mama, like you've told me things.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you told me things that I might not have wanted to hear, but needed to hear. But a therapist kind of like treads lightly on that, because
treads lightly on that. And some of them don't know. Some of them aren't able to read that with confidence. Right. So they don't, and then they can mess it up if they tell you something. So here it's reading your signature, reflecting that back to you. And yep, it certainly is that, truths aren't easy to hear. So it's for those people that don't want to, be sugar coated, don't want to have the wool pulled over their eyes just to make them feel better in the moment, and really want the truth so they can do something with it and get the results that they want. So these are smart people, that don't want to just be sitting there. Don't lie to me. Just tell me what you see so I can do something with it. and be able to utilize that. And of course, that's not for everyone. Right?
Yeah,
But,
that's true. Because there's
it's a medicine, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've even noticed in doing this work for a couple months, like I can see people that are still in like deep false traits. And so but
Yeah.
yes,
It's the luxury of clarity, really. So it's about getting that clarity. So you don't have to understand it cognitively, any of that. The work is done on you, if you like, just by being in the experience, and then you get that clarity. So you shortcut this round of all of these things. It's going round and round in circles, or landing on, most people land on the clarity that somebody else is broken, they're a narcissist, or whatever it is, or this work is broken. I just get away from that. I just manage it logically. I fix it. Because that's some clarity at least, but it's broken clarity. Okay. So it is, that's what you're kind of given.
Of my
Yeah.
breath in my mouth. My breath in my
Yeah.
mouth.
okay.
My breath.
Yes, baby. Hold on.
My breath in my mouth.
Okay.
No.
Maybe can mommy finish this? I'm gonna probably hit to edit this. Out.
You're gonna have a lot of editing work.
But yeah, yeah, it's definitely been interesting, and I just I guess it's interesting to hear too, like how you came into it and was able to create it.
Yeah.
But like you said, I guess it just like things start to get revealed to you as you do the work.
Yeah, it's the same. So what we do, we have something called your root element, okay, which is different for everyone, what lies beneath it and how to activate that. But as you start to activate that, you receive what we call your soul design IP mission, your intellectual property, your gift, your talent. And that's how it starts to happen. Instead of trying to find your purpose, find your gift, put a plan together for it, make it happen. I mean, that is one way you can make things happen, unfortunately, that are not who you're here to be, not what you're here to enjoy, not what you're here to do. And then you can have a great success, but it can feel very unfulfilling. So we don't try to find it. We don't try to figure it out. As you start to be with your root wound elements and activate them, the outcome comes through. It can be read for you, who you're here to be, what you're here to enjoy, and what you're here to do. And you come into that layer by layer. You look at it backwards and go, oh, wow, that's what was happening this whole time. But we too much want cheap clarity. We want the cheap clarity, not the luxury clarity. We want that cheap clarity of like, right, this person's a narcissist. This is what I'm meant to be doing. I'm going to control it. I'm going to know what my life's going to look like in 1 year's time, 2 years' time. And it never looks like that because we are not in control. We have to use what we're being given by design and our experience. And also the power of what we desire, because the power of desire is very important. It's not there by accident.
Yeah.
And most of us,
like a lot of people were taught to like suppress their desires to whatever their parents wanted or whatever society wanted.
right?
Stop.
Your desires, they're not random. They're like data. So we talk about micro sacred geometry, macro. All that means is you're the micro here on planet Earth, and there's something bigger than us. We can all feel that. Okay, whether you're spiritual, believe in anything or not, you can feel that I desire something, or even if you're trying to suppress it, but you think that desire must be absolute BS. But it exists somewhere. And it's an energy that wants to come into your physical. It's in the non-physical and wants to come into the physical, something you desire, or even better, but just the power of desire and coming into that. We won't say yes to it. We suppress it because we're like, well, what if we don't get that exact desire? And that's okay. You may not get that exact desire. This idea of Lord, you can get anything you want, be whatever you want. That's called force. This is this fake version of manifestation, if you like. It's just push. You're just making it happen. We can make anything happen. We do have that free will, but there's something you're here to be. And so it will be what you desire or something even better through what you require, what you need. Those are the challenges, the painful things that are showing up in your life right now, the shitty, the triggering situations, things from the past, and they're not being used. They're being managed. They're not being activated to have that evolvement, to bring in that what you desire or even better. So you don't have to worry, that you can just have the energy of desire and not be attached to it being that thing, because it will be that or even better if you transcend those root elements that are moving for you, those hard things that are happening in life. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Yeah, it is interesting how there's so many different like modalities and things out there that people use, and even in the spiritual realm, like the energy healing,
right. Yeah, and I got to a point, really honestly, I was like, this is all a scam. It's a complete scam. Like, self-development is a scam, life is life. It is what it is. So what the hell is going on here? Like, life is not going to be easy. It's going to have challenges. They're not going away. You're not going to have a relationship. Like, for example, people in love relationships are checking out. We have so much loneliness, so much singleness now, because there are phases to love. Phase 1 is that dream phase. We've all had that. Okay. Phase 2 is that discovery phase of like, oh, you've got flaws. I don't like that. I don't like this. Then it's the disappointment phase 3. And then phase 4 is the rebuilding. Most people don't get to phase 4. And then phase 5 is deep love. And then phase 6 is a legacy. We're talking years. Right? I heard Michelle Obama say that she hated Barack Obama for the first 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm almost, where am I now? 8 years? I mean, my 8th year of marriage, this marriage, third one. Okay, this one I'm sticking out.
Yeah.
The others, I was like out in phase 3. Disappointment, wounds coming up. So we don't realize that we're committing to our mirror. We're meant to be using it and evolving us. Okay? So I would say in my marriage, I'm probably in the rebuilding phase. It doesn't mean you're only in that. Okay? You'll get some of the dream parts, you'll get some of the deep love. Nothing is linear. But you need to understand this. Because otherwise we're just checking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I do see a lot of even spiritual bypassing. I feel like I even, might have done it a few times and then was like, oh wait, no, like
yeah. We bypass it. We bypass it because we're not using it to get a result and an outcome. If you didn't get a result or an outcome or a shift, it wasn't it. You've just got knowledge. And you're probably a victim to it. And you've probably made a conclusion on it, a false conclusion that, oh, what that means is that person's bad. I need to break up with them, or I need to do this. I need to start a new career. I need to do this business. This is my plan. And that often leaves us in a situation where we're like, hold on, but everything is challenging. So I can't have a relationship. No job is going to work. No friendships, because we don't understand that upsets, F-ups, even the worst stuff, disputes, arguments, conflict, all of it is okay. That's part of the design. But it's how we're using it to activate our evolvement and the evolvement of your relationship. You know, I mean, another one I've been quoting recently is the when it comes to relationships, because we can all relate to how hard they are, right? Is the Osbournes, and Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne. I mean, their marriage was terrifying, publicly terrifying. He was a drug addict. He brought a woman home, I believe, out of his head, brought her home, cheated. Also, I think he smacked her in the face. So there's some physical stuff going on there. And they came through that because they came through the disappointment phase, all of the wounds, and they went through that rebuilding phase. They had the deep love, unbelievable deep love, and they have a legacy. They're inspirational. That's when they become inspirational. And you get results. You get, success, houses, cars,
Yeah.
It's happiness, but it doesn't look like a walk in the park, guys. Nothing does. Not starting a business, not a job, not having a child, right? None of it. It's not like, yay,
Mhm.
perfection, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's learning how to be with it
Mhm.
and use all your experiences rather than try to control them. Rather than saying to a partner, right, you've got to behave like this. These are my boundaries. And when you do that, then I'll let you in. Because you're not using the experience. You're not evolving. You're not going through the ups and downs together. It's not love. It's not loving yourself correctly. It's trying to protect you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know if that makes some sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe. Yeah, that definitely makes sense because I know my son still sometimes, triggers me, but I do try you know, try and let him be himself and,
Yeah.
teach him his emotional intelligence as I'm learning it myself.
Yeah, exactly. And using the things that trigger you to evolve yourself. Yeah, and it's okay to be triggered and angry and upset and hurt at your child. It doesn't mean that is anything bad about that because there's something in it for you to evolve into. So
Yeah.
it's not about perfection and being a perfect parent, all of that. It's about using it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I've even gotten more into the habit. I know he's still young right now, but I've gotten more into the habit of telling him, when I don't like that he does something. Yeah. I try and tell him the things that I don't like that he does. And, like, if you tell me to stop doing something that you don't like, we'll respect each other mutually. So I'm just trying to teach him.
Yeah. I mean, telling each other or telling our partners or telling someone doesn't always work, right?
Mhm.
But calibrating your energy to come into your true element, into your power, that you're not responding in the same way, you're not as triggered by it, or you're using it. It's your energy, and so anything that's coming forward is always to be used for some kind of involvement, some kind of result.
Mhm.
Because as we know, we can't just tell. It doesn't always work unless you've got
Yeah.
to the rebuilding phase in any area of your life and you've come through that. You can start to have conversations and it actually works. Right,
Yeah.
it actually works, but obviously with a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, unlikely.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like, it does feel like the more you master the energy, that's when you see the most profound shifts. Because like you said, you could tell people something and then you could like I lost my ex best friend by telling her my truth. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. But you found yourself. You'll
Mhm.
find more of yourself because if someone goes away from you because you're coming into your truth and your true elements, as we call it here, that's okay because otherwise we're betraying ourselves,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? But if that affects you, got to feel it. So it will take things out naturally for you. It will bring things in naturally. We've all heard that saying, right? Some
Mhm.
things are, for a season, a reason, a
Mhm.
lifetime, right?
Right. Like
So you don't have to decide. You just have to be in your truth, and then the sacred or life itself will decide if that's, oh, this person was just here for that and they're moving out,
Mhm.
or they're going to evolve and turn into what you like and what you want them to be. You can be very surprised. You're like, this person
Yeah.
is bad, they're a narcissist, they're never going to show up well, I'm putting these back. And then suddenly you start to see these shifts as you start to activate these things in yourself and recalibrate that energy in a very systemized way, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that complex, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then you start to see surprisingly family, partners, exes starting to shift. It's
Yeah.
like, what the hell is happening? I thought you're the bad guy. I'm the good
Yeah.
bad guy. Like, there is no good guys and bad guys.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
definitely true. I will say that's the thing I've seen the most because that's the thing I've done the most work on is really my ex who I used to
Right.
this. But now he shows like I am actually surprised in how he shows up now. Like wanting to I thought he was gonna let us fall away because of you know, his past things that he was up to, but it has been genuinely like wanting to take his son, and even if there was like a little bit of manipulation I sensed, I don't know. I guess I'm just not at the point where I don't know where I'm not looking at him as any like us getting back together, but I definitely am happy that he is at this point like we're able to actually
Yeah.
co-parent and
Yeah. So this seemed impossible, right? This seemed impossible. And it would have gone the other way if we kept operating from the full straights. He'll play out that for you because you're still not transcending the root element of why he was your mirror for those things. And now you're activating them, you're being with them. He's showing up in a different way, very sincerely, very present. And it can go further and further and further. They can do a complete 180 because they were a vessel, a container, an agent used by the sacred or life itself to show you something. Because we transcend from the outside through, not the inside out. We have to see it on the outside. We're pretty blind. We're pretty good at lying to ourselves and telling ourselves we're great, you're the problem. Because we're all narcissists, right? We all gonna say, I'm great. This has nothing to do with me. Okay, that you're showing up like this, but it's got everything to do with us. And as you evolve that, because we're all connected, we're not separate. The feeling that we're separate is an illusion as well, because we've got these big bodies and this mass. But actually, we're not separate. We're not separate. So as you don't even have to talk to the person. You don't have to confront anyone. And you just start to transcend this energy and recalibrate with your truth. Use all these hot, dark situations instead of just judging them, managing them, controlling them. Use them. And like you've seen in real life, your ex starting to shift and being a good co-parent and being present. Your brain of like, well, this is quite surprising. This person could even be a good partner, potentially.
I can just ask the closing wisdom question that I usually ask everyone.
Okay.
But my question is basically, if you could say that you found one truth about our divinity, what would that truth be?
One truth about our divinity, what would that be? I mean, I would say nothing is broken and you don't need fixing, and neither does anybody else. And as cheesy as it is, love is the answer, and unconditional love for every circumstance, to use it for what it's here for. If we were really doing that, rather than judging it, controlling it, trying to fix it, we would set ourselves free, we'd be liberated. Your experiences would start to change naturally and organically.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can people get a hold of you if they want? Because you do the free reading for the sacred geometry signature. So would they be able to get a hold of you for that?
They can. I'm on Instagram, Liberate Me TM. There's a website, and you can contact me straight through that. Better to DM me on Instagram, or there's a link there that takes you straight through to WhatsApp, or they can contact you. You can put them in touch. Yeah, easy to find me.
Yeah, and I'll put all of your stuff in the description as well. And yeah, I can always connect people to you as well on WhatsApp. So
Beautiful. Yeah, love it.
All right. Well, maybe I can get you another time. But we'll end that here for today.
Okay. Yeah, we can do another one for sure. Yeah.
All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.